Okay,
But
cool.
if it goes...
I got
Oh, are
into
you
the
in that?
game, yeah, so
Awesome.
conveniently timed little pause there. This is the round of 16 game of the DominateDominion.com League of Legends Dominion Tournament number 21. This is the round of 16 game. It is Prairie Power versus POOTYS Gone Wild. Prairie Power has Divine Bovine playing as Morgana, Bahamut Prime playing as Teemo, Vlandum playing as Blitzcrank, Stormfallen playing as Janna, Super Quack Duck playing as Olaf, and I'm Gandare casting with Chobra. Chobra, who do we have on POOTYS Gone Wild team?
Well, that actually works out perfectly because my camera is right here. We have Naked Apron Plan on Ezreal, Shanuf on Nocturne, Wowix on Malphite, Nikis the Seraph on Soraka, and POOTYS himself on Zillion. We do see the reconnect, so as long as Wowix is able to move, we should be able to go right into the game.
As you pointed out, just before I started the recording here, POOTYS is known for his back capping, and you see him opening with that boots and mobility. His ghost is already down. He's speeding on his way, and Janna has also got that boots and mobility to kind of go along with that, sort of looking to counter POOTYS, it seems. And I'm going to follow Janna here and see where she goes.
Going to actually take the speed rune while Zillion chooses not to. Zillion going straight for the interrupt on Morgana and then just speeding away. Meanwhile, Soraka was able to get that capture. Top lane Blitzcrank gets there, tries for the grab against Ezreal, but Teemo's going to safely channel almost halfway at the windmill.
Now, if you want to follow the top half of the map, for this game I'll follow the lower half of the map. We'll just go back and forth
like
after this windmill fight.
Blitzcrank does get a knock-up onto Malphite, but Blitzcrank is already really low from a lot of poke coming out from the red team. They're going in for a full 3v3 right now. Exhaust on Ezreal blocking a lot of that damage. Blitzcrank's mana barrier has been already triggered. Nocturne running quite low, but Blitzcrank actually just sitting behind. Red team is completely ignoring this Blitzcrank. They realize that the damage is not in Blitzcrank this early in the game. He only has that tier, and they're going to be able to capture this, hopefully, unless Olaf finds a way to speed up here to interrupt that. He may be able to get an axe. No, he's not going to get that undertow before the channel finishes.
Now, Vlandum using his revive at the lower end of the map. Soraka had kept that point neutral for some time after Janna had originally interrupted Morgana from being able to capture it. Vlandum with his revive had come down there to disrupt her, and I guess the Seraph is doing a really good job of delaying. His goal, it looks like, is to stay alive for as long as he can for POOTYS to be able to get over here. Is he going to be able to click that in time to keep it neutral? Yes, he does get there, for Stormfallen is right behind him, and POOTYS is just going to poke a little bit before he is deflected from that point.
Alright, meanwhile, top lane, Olaf and Teemo just content to push it out. They're not in a rush to try to take over the windmill, especially as they've had to kind of spread out their resources to help that bottom tower finally being captured. Meanwhile, Janna does get caught by Nocturne. Nocturne is going to get the fear proc onto Janna, but of course, with that boost of ability, as soon as she gets out of range, she's just going to speed away. Meanwhile, a huge minion wave pushing against windmill. Look at the damage they're doing to this tower. They might even get the neutral here. Barely lives with pretty much zero health on this tower, slowly regaining. A garrison may be necessary, but Malphite's actually just looking to start a fight right away. Blitzcrank comes in from the side, gets the knock-up onto Ezreal. Malphite's already very low. Teemo putting that dot onto Malphite relentlessly, and Olaf having to use the undertow to disengage from Nocturne and Ezreal.
Malphite having to recall their Wowix, having to take a trip back. Vlandum cutting in from the side like that, I think, was quite a good play, and they just keep on pushing that creep wave up. In the middle of the map, Stormfallen is still chasing POOTYS around the map. You get the Benny Hill music rolling somewhere in the back of my mind. This goes on. Catches him with an airborne, though. He's going to be able to pick up that speed relic and get back away, though.
Well, top lane Blitzcrank lands the grab onto Nocturne, a ton of burst damage coming down to him, but there's a two-shot barrage, and there is the Unsolved, of course, over the corner of the wall. Malphite getting the double knock-up onto Blitzcrank and Olaf, and now Nocturne and Malphite are chasing down Teemo, but Teemo is guiding Nocturne right into his mushrooms, gets the kill with that bait, and now is going to force Malphite to run away as Ezreal is channeling that tower that has been neutralized by the minions.
Very good kiting there by Bahamut Prime at the top of the map, getting them to run over those mushrooms like that. Was able to get that kill there and eliminate Nocturne. POOTYS looking a little bit worse for the wear, though, in this engagement, having being chased sort of relentlessly by Janna, as it were. So that keeps pushing the creep wave up down around the bottom end of the map, but Morgana's AoE is able to deflect that each time that it builds up. Stormfallen, uh-oh, getting caught a little bit over there by Naked Apron Plan. He's taking some damage there, but her teammates are coming through the middle of the map. Valanda moves up to sort of cut in and deflect Malphite away, but they're just going to keep on going to the tower. They're not looking for the champs at all right now. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Wowix and crew are heading back towards their own tower at this point. Throws down the Grand Slam. Ultimate's going down. Bahamut Prime sort of just chipping away with that damage, but not doing a ton of it right at this moment. Valandum had to back out of the fight with his mana barrier active. Had to get those cooldowns refreshed, but get some good airborne on Sure Enough there. Although he is taken out. Super Quack Duck picking up that health relic, and Naked Apron Plan able to get him down. POOTYS' team able to defend that point.
Meanwhile, Stormfallen actually just used Ghost to try to cut POOTYS away from that health relic, but POOTYS just juked right back out of that corner, and now just keeping Stormfallen on this chase. These two are just in an eternal chase this match. Meanwhile, top lane, I want to mention that it was really good of Naked Apron Plan to save that ultimate, to save that True Shot barrage until a perfect moment lined up. No need to rush in the beginning, especially if you're under the tower and you know they're not in a position to dive it just yet. You know you're going to survive for the later portion of that fight. Waited until the exhaust finished and got that double hit. We do see another pause. But what do you think, especially about this idea of, DPP putting Janna for just that eternal chase onto that Zilean?
Janna does have a slow, and she can do some pretty decent damage if she's able to catch POOTYS, and she's got some AP to her name. So, but it's a matter of being able to actually catch her with that slow or not is really going to be the difference of if she's successful, because Zilean's able to have that move speed increase with the fast forward, and Janna really doesn't have that. So if he's able to wait for that to wear off, pop the move speed increase, he can get distance on Janna again.
Meanwhile, middle of the map, Nocturne finds Teemo, thinks it's a 1v1, but Blitzcrank is right there. Janna also coming in for that slow, but there is a Zilean ultimate. Can Nocturne get away when he gets up though? There's 4 people right around his corpse. He gets up with not that much health, gets knocked off, double knockoff actually, and Malphite comes in for an excellent stop of force. 2-shot barrage will still hit. 2 people, Blitzcrank trying for the pull, not going to hit, and Ezreal now just trying to kite away from this Olaf, is able to blink over the wall. Meanwhile, Malphite now has to take the damage of 2 people. Ezreal comes back in, puts the exhaust onto Olaf, but he's out of mana. Blitzcrank will get the shutdown. Blitzcrank now actually on the flip side, very low on health. Malphite is forced to run away as Olaf completely pushes him away from the fight, and Blitzcrank's going to go straight for the tower up at the windmill. They should be able to at least neutralize this.
Malphite is reckless swing bait right there, but he did get his shield back up before he re-engaged in that fight, enabling him to take down Blitzcrank. There's Stormfallen coming up to the top, but taking some damage from Naked Apron Plan, who jumps right through those houses there to put the hurt on him, and is able to knock Stormfallen down there. Nocturne has got the ultimate active, but he really doesn't have anywhere to go with it, it looks like. And Bahamut Prime's catching POOTYS in the middle of that. POOTYS flashes away there. Knows how much damage Bahamut Prime could be dealing, so he jumps away to safety. Ezreal is going to secure the top point as Stormfallen deflects Show Enough from the refinery. Valandum coming around from the side. Are we going to see a Nocturne sandwich? He can go for the grab. Yes, lands it. Gets a nice airborne off on there, staggering those CCs. Got a fast forward on Nock, but another airborne lands on that Power Fist, doing a lot of work for the team there as he bops Naked Apron Plan up in there as well, keeping them sort of in this area for Super Quack Duck to catch up. And they unload on Show Enough. They are going to... Oh, nope, Show Enough's going to get away. They're going to turn their attention over to Ezreal instead and engage him up at the top point.
That was a really good spell show coming out from Nocturne, predicting that mushroom, and there's the grab right from under the tower. But Ezreal actually says, thank you very much, picks up the kill, and Malphite comes in to help take down Blitzcrank. And POOTY is just looking really good right now. They're up 478 to 262, consistently holding on to that 3 cap.
POOTYS is running low on mana right now, however. He's really got to be active about picking up these health relics, or he's not going to be able to sustain what he's doing currently. You notice he's been going from health relic to health relic in order to keep his mana up. For those that don't know, that health relics do give mana in addition to health. They give you a, I don't remember the exact value, but they give you like 100, 200, something like that. They give you an amount. It's good. It keeps him able to use that fast forward and be active on the map. You see him going over to his side of the map even to pick up a couple of those, popping the fast forward and then going about his business. But we got engagement up at the top right now.
And we do see Olaf being knocked up right away, and we have Nocturne and Malphite just beating on Blitzcrank. Ezreal turns his attention to Blitzcrank, not interested in Teemo at all. They know he's just going to run. Arcane shifts over to try to chase, but there's the blind from Teemo. But now Teemo's not in the most preferable position. Nocturne trying to chase through the fear proc lands. It is going to fear him, but there's the grab. Nocturne promptly walking right out of tower range, and they're going to go ahead and start channeling on this great micro by Nocturne to avoid that extra tower hit.
Yeah, they are going to lose the tower in that exchange. A Super Quack Duck is not going to be able to get there quick enough to help them keep that. Bottom point was neutral. Ekis the Seraph and Divine Bovine getting into a little bit of a disagreement of sorts with their spells down there on the bottom end of the map. Mord keeps trying to bait him into the pool and is able to do so on occasion, but Ekis is being very good at being able to step out of there at the right times.
Meanwhile, POOTYS does get caught by Janet, is low on mana once again, but has just enough for an extra fast forward into that health relic and should be safe for now. Meanwhile, Teemo and Ezreal dueling, and Ezreal does not care about that blind. Mystic Shot is not effective. There's the fear and the exhaust onto Blitzcrank. An extra two-shot barrage guaranteeing the hit onto two enemy champions. Nocturne should surely go down in this engagement. Ezreal's actually forced to run away because he's out of mana, leaving Malphite alone to duel against these two. But Malphite is doing so much damage and so tanky already with the items he's bought. He has the Haunting guys to add to the damage and has that Glacial Shroud for the cooldown and the armor.
Wow. POOTYS there opting to slow Janna in that instance, doing something offensive for a change, able to secure a kill for Naked Apron Plan. Nice play there by POOTYS, but Stormfallen is just going to pop that revive, immediately come down there to defend that tower, and that is why revive is so valuable.
You see the power right there. Malphite getting caught in a 1v2 duel. Zillion and Ezreal try to come in and help, but they're both so low on mana, they're going to have to back out. They may just have to give up this refinery. They've held onto a 3-to-1 cap for quite a while now. I don't think it's going to be that detrimental if they give that up. Ezreal's still just trying to delay the capture and the neutralize on this refinery. Actually goes legendary with that pickup kill on Teemo, and now just trying to kite this Blitzcrank and Olaf. Trying to go under the tower, dodges the grab, but there is the ultimate from Blitzcrank to secure the kill. Meanwhile, Olaf uses the ultimate preemptively to prevent any sort of fear as he chases Nocturne away. But Malphite has shown up. Can they stop the channel? Blitzcrank is very low, so he's going to be forced out of this fight, and now they're just sticking onto Olaf. They know this. Blitzcrank just trying to help with that grab, so they instantly turn onto him to force him to run away. They're going to get this kill onto Olaf, I hope. Nocturne going for the chase, but Teemo coming in with that blind. There is the last hit from Nocturne picking up that kill, and now they turn onto Malphite. Blue team just fighting for dear life at this refinery. Malphite gets the shutdown to Blitzcrank, but Teemo, can he push Malphite away as Zillion has shown back up? Walex
is kited right into that mushroom, but POOTYS is right there to bring his friend back from the great beyond, as it were. Sidesteps that grab right there and walks around the mushroom. He's got a poison dot on him, however, that is able to put him back at his base. And Super Quack Duck appearing to deflect Zillion. Zillion opts to hit that speed boost, and no, he's going to back off just to come back and poke a little bit. At the bottom, Ekis the Seraph and Divine Bovine both arguing over a neutral tower. Nocturne ulting in on Stormfallen. Stormfallen using the nice use there of the Monsoon to knock Shonuff back, breaking the fear tether, enabling Stormfallen to get away, to kind of turn back around and interrupt him from that, keeping the point neutral. 3 neutral points right now on the map.
Yeah, a 2-0 cap. This is not something you see that often. But POOTY knows they're so far ahead that they just need to hang on to this tower lead. They don't need to capture any more points. As long as they have a tower lead, they're going to close out this game. 439-17 and ticking down 1 point at a time. Teemo gets caught by the Unstoppable Force top. They're just desperate to try to neutralize one more tower against POOTY, but Ezreal turns around. Arcane shifts right over that mushroom to help pick up the kill. Malphite gets the kill credit. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Soraka's still doing so much work to prevent any sort of tower capture down here at the Glory. Nocturne is now here to help against 3 members of DPP, and that is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen, ending with a 3-to-1 cap in favor of POOTY, 439-0.
It was a very chaotic game there. For anyone watching the stream, I highly recommend you check out the VODs. We had the camera in 2 different places for a lot of that. Janet doing a really good job of deflecting POOTYS, but ultimately not able to secure the game. POOTYS is going to be the victor there in a game that just went crazy at the end.